And welcome back, everyone. Welcome back to another week, another edition of the KSL, the Korean StarCraft League, week number 72. Whew. Your bi-weekly dose of Korean StarCraft. We're here. It's good to be back. Good to return. And we have quite a bracket ready for you. Exclamation mark be in the chat to have a look at the bracket yourselves. The bracket is stacked, the bracket is live, and we have our first series of the broadcast. And spawning in the top right hand corner of ley lines, we have the pink Protoss player from South Korea, representing among SC2 people. It is Ateshi. And spawning in the bottom left hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the Chilean Terran player, the blue Terran. It is LucianO. And if you're in the chat, you know what time it is. It is Gamba time. Predictions are open. Place your bets on who you think will claim the series. Best of luck in the chat, as it is Gamba time. And yeah, good morning. Buenos dias, baby. Buenos dias. Good morning. Well, God, I did wake up like not too long ago. We're here, we're back, we are ready for some StarCraft, and oh boy, looking forward to it. Of course, there is a lot to discuss and a lot to go over, especially probably towards the end of the broadcast. Definitely news has been announced recently, and most likely we'll talk about it during the podcast at least, but during the end of the broadcast we'll probably have something to discuss. But for the most part, we could focus on our matches, focus on our games, and already we open up with a proxy. Hello, Ateshi. What do you have for us? What do you got? Meanwhile, as we said, a little big shout out to C Grail in the chat. Thank you so much to C Grail for subscribing for 26 months. 26 months, over 2 years of support. Thank you so much, C Grail, for the support. We do appreciate it as we settle into our best of 3. Thank you, C Grail. Thank you. As a way for the Cybercore to finish, based on location, this looks like a proxy Stargate. So proxy Stargate out of Ateshi. The goal would be proxy Oracle to dive into the main. Yep, there we go. Stargate has been placed. Oracle's into the main base to wreak havoc, to get some economic damage done, and we'll see how much damage we will achieve. Alas, LucianO for the time being is chilling out back at home. We did have our initial opener. It was a Rax expand, a CC on the high ground, more economic start here out of LucianO, and with this getting into his own eventual natural, but scouting is limited, just now moving out of the Reaper, and the Reaper needs to confirm that the tech is missing. As the Reaper does move out, takes down a probe, takes down a worker, slips into the main base, and gets a full scout, and with this should confirm, hold up, something is wrong, something is amiss. Where's the Twilight Council second gateway? Where is the Stargate? Where is the tech? Nowhere to be found, not yet. That's that Oracle again, it's on the way. First Zealot does arrive, chipping away at the front door. Reaper does race back home to help deal with said Zealot. Not quite, so actually, looking. Scouting. Does scout, let's scout the third base before turning back around. Likewise, LucianO going for his 1-1-1. Anti-air is quite limited, and I'm concerned. How much anti-air do we have? We have 2 Marines. We have 2 Marines here. The Oracle is diving into the main base. Lack of anti-air is concerning, and how much damage is going to be done. The Oracle could honestly kill the Marines as well, and SCVs are going to be going down. Gets 1, it gets 2, gets, up to almost 3. Up, not quite. Yeah, barely not. So 2 SCV kills, nothing too major here. Thankfully, no major damage. Alas, LucianO, he does defend, he does hold, and LucianO, he can continue. I was concerned this was going to get even more done. I was concerned that the Marines would not be enough, but thankfully, LucianO, he does hold the line. He did react in time as well, and the game will continue. He can now expand, and we can embrace our TVP. Whew, let's go. Let us go. We can base our TvT. Tank production has begun early on. With this early tank production, I'm leaning towards an early move out. Typically, we wouldn't really begin these tanks this quickly, so I'm feeling early tanks maybe into medevac production. We'll see what is done with this reactor into an early move out here from LucianO. I know he's not too fond of this matchup and will most likely commit to an all-in if need be. Going to be opening up double Viking initially. Tank gets spotted, and Ateshi rushing into a very fast third base. Jesus, oh my god. But when it comes to third base timings, usually we see at the most greediest 2-gate blink into a third. This is a third base on 1 gateway, by the way. There's nothing to defend. 1 gateway into a third expansion. Hyper greed here from Ateshi, now going for a delayed gateway explosion, delayed blink stalkers as well. Thankfully for Ateshi, LucianO is not pushing. Thankfully that LucianO is not moving out, he's staying back at home. Because of that, Ateshi can get away with this. So again, very greedy build. Likewise, knocking down those rocks. Oracle dips back in. The Vikings are in position. Vikings will zone away. And we'll see when and if Luciano does move out. He's getting another wave of Vikings as well. He's getting up to 4 Vikings. That's quite a lot of Viking production. I'm a little bit concerned about that. Okay, never mind. I was assuming that we were going to get ready for a move out and try to shut down the Oracles. There we go. We do move out, but that's going to be a third TC on the way. So Luciano, he is expanding. Is expanding behind this. But we'll see what he can achieve. Ideally, he would want to kill the third. I was going to say cancel, but the third base is already done. So the pressure is on Luciano. Stays traps on the way. Stalkers, they do meet here in the center to slow down the push. And they don't quite get a tank. They don't quite get the Viking. One Marine goes down. Luciano, he rotates over towards the right hand side. We have a Void Ray on the way. Let's go. Void Ray is in production. As Luciano, he does rotate. He does thankfully spot the stasis, I believe. I believe he did spot it. There we go. Triggers the stasis. Does let the Vikings. Does move out. That's going to be a lot of Stalkers. Charge is not yet done. He's going to have 3 tanks. Tanks, they do siege. And Marines, they get in the mineral line, get within range of the Robo. And the Robo looks like it is going to go down. Yeah, massive pickup. Pylon is going to fall. Just get a recall here. Oh, towards the left-hand side, saving the probes. Getting back to saturation. The Immortal is not going to be a part of this, but Charge is almost done. And with Charge finishing at there, she's going to shut this down. I don't see Luciano defending against this. I mean, he has a decent amount of bio here. Remember, these are vanilla Marines. There's no stim. Yeah, Charge is done. And Ateshi, he dives in. He dives in, takes down the bio, gets on top of the tanks, and he will completely clean this up. I say that final tank putting in a lot of work. But it does get targeted down. And without those tanks, Ateshi holds. Ateshi holds on, cleans up the army, saves the expansion, did lose the Robo. That was a nice cleanup here from Ateshi. And what did Ateshi lose in that fight? He lost Zealots, more than anything. He lost 3 Stalkers, he lost 6 Zealots, lost the Robo, but a big cleanup, and back at home, what is it to defend? There's a decent line of tanks here. Luciano should be able to hold, but he cannot expand. Oh, and even that hold is a little bit dicey here. There are a couple of tanks, but not many. Yeah, tanks are exposed. He gets one, he's going to get the other. Zell save rally from across the map. The final tank does go down. GG gets called. Ateshi snowballs out of control, and Ateshi takes a 1-0 lead. Whew. GG. Ateshi does take a lead again. Luciano was hyper committed with that move out, which is why I was a little bit surprised that he threw down a third TC. It felt very committed, but despite that, he didn't commit to an all-in by throwing down extra rackers and by pulling the boys. So because of that, it was a little bit middle of the road there from Luciano, and he got punished for it. Last, that third base never came into play, and Ateshi snowballed out of control. GG. GG, well played. Ateshi does claim the initial game, and we'll see if he can claim the series. We'll see if Luciano can bounce back. Let us go. After this series, we'll go over the brackets. The bracket is live, the bracket is stacked, so we'll be going over that bracket after this matchup. We'll get there. We'll see where that leads. As a game 2 is going to be on Ultra Love. So just setting up the YouTube title. Beautiful. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of Ultra Love, we have our South Korean Protoss player, the pink Protoss representing among SC2 people. It is Ateshi. And spawning in the top right-hand corner, we have the Chilean Terran player, the blue Terran. It is Luciano. Here we go. Also, shout out to those in the chat. I see Baby Links, of course, getting first crack. Oh no! Feels ping, man. Feels ping. I mean, I can imagine ping from Latino America to Korea is not ideal, for sure, for sure. Feels bad, man. Feels bad. But shout out to Turbo Quacker as well. See Ragnar in the chat. Of course, Seagrail. ¿Qué tal? ¿Cómo están? Este Turbo Quacker. Get some rest, Bobby. Get some rest. I appreciate that you're here, but hopefully you're somewhat rested for work soon. TM. Ateshi's so happy. 15 ms. Yo, I've never played on that low ping before. That is crazy. I think even from Australia I get like 50 ping to the Australian server or something like that. Maybe like 80 ping. It's crazy, crazy. But here we go. We do have, was that me? Did I actually do that? But we do have our initial setup here. It is going to be the proxy gateway, proxy gate out of Ateshi. Likewise, LucianO setting up here, going ranks expand, economic open on the high ground. Does go for more economic start. And we'll see how Ateshi pops off. Now, he has one gateway back at home and one across the map, so this is not the most committed build out of Ateshi, but he can make that initial Zealot. He can reinforce with a Stalker here in the center, and then reinforce with an Adept from across the map. So hyper aggression. The goal typically with this build is to delay the CC on the low ground, but as you can see, the CC is a little bit safer here, and it was built first, so the CC is complete. So the command center will not be delayed, but the base can be. We may just be trying to contain LucianO in one base. We can try to chip away at the depot as well. We'll see what Ateshi can get done. As is that Stalker, and there is that Adept. So a bit of everything, a bit of a kitchen sink. Zealot does waddle up the ramp. Likewise, LucianO, he did go reactor first. Oh, no, Marine. Okay. He went Marine reactor, so at least he has a Marine here to defend, but the Marine can be focused down by the Stalker. And with that depot, it may just go down. Boys are being pulled. SCVs can be targeted. Yeah, and we do have the mass repair, so the SCVs, they will be able to maintain themselves just barely. Oh my god, the Marine taking a lot of hits. Oh no! Marine has to be careful. But at least LucianO is holding, and he's massing up more Marines. As the Marine count builds up, he can hold. Meanwhile, Adept has arrived. Ooh, gets a Marine. God. And the Marines are going to go down, one after the other. There's a Widow Mine on the way that will help at least somewhat. Another Marine falls. And this is getting out of hand. This is getting out of hand. This is getting out of control here. The Widow Mine can maybe take down the Zealot, but the gateway count is just getting higher and higher. The wall does crumble. Zealot baits out the shots. Oh, we have the Emperor. No, we have the Emperor, but the Widow Mine goes down, and that might just be game. Yeah, then and there, the Marines are falling one after the other. Again, there was no bunker on the high ground. Without a bunker, there's no defense. Well, I should say that it's just, the loss is just going to be too great here, as that's going to be how many? 11 SCV kills. 11 workers going down. The Marines, they stand no chance. There's nothing. There's just nothing to defend. And GG gets called. Unfortunately, no bunker on the high ground, no defense, and Ateshi will snowball out of control. Ateshi will take the series 2-0. GG. GG, well played. Congratulations here to Ateshi as he does claim the series. Congratulations. My condolences to LucianO. Again, when it comes to the response of that initial gateway aggression, especially when the second gateway unit arrives, the first Zealot is relatively normal, like going for a Zealot across the map, but the proxied Stalker here does typically mean that you do need a bunker. You need a bunker to defend, you need a bunker to hold. Without that bunker, you saw the Marines are fragile. The Marines, they go down one after the other, and despite the repairs, there's no real defense that can be made. And with that, GG, well played. Ateshi does advance on, and now we can have a look at the bracket itself.